Folks, welcome back to Nostalgianomics. Today, we're going to investing school. We're going to try to break through the fog that is this YouTube space and this Pokemon community. Because here's the truth. Here's how YouTube works. I'm going to give it to you. You put a flashy thumbnail, you put a flashy title that gets people's bloods boiling. They got to click on it. And then once they click on it, you double down and you just say some ridiculous things, right? If the market's going up, there's manipulation, there's buyouts. If the market's going down, it's I told you so. Everything's crashing. Get out while you can. It's all going to zero. You're an idiot trying to invest in a kid's card game. And the truth is, it's usually somewhere in the middle. And the other truth is, no matter what anyone says about how things are performing in any segment of time that they're choosing to show, over the long term, these things perform pretty damn well. If you're looking at like a month or a 3-month period, it may not be that good. Sometimes even a year period. But once you expand that chart out and you get the full view, it's like looking at the S&P, right? I could look at the S&P and take times during like 07, 08, 09, 2010 when things look awful. I could take, little months during when COVID hit and things look awful. But then you spread the timeline out and you're like, oh, there was that little bitty blip on that chart that I was so worried about. I was so emotional. I was watching all these videos. They had me questioning everything I owned. I was going to dump it all for 70%. Calm down. I got you covered. No, all the crazy thumbnails about Sword and Shield crashing, Alt-Arts crashing. No, they're not. We're doing just fine. So let's go ahead and jump into. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about and hopefully give you a sensical, logical viewpoint and approach to all this. So before we do that, I'm going to shout out Arizona TCG. They're today's video sponsor. They're a consignment service for your PSA, BGS, and CGC slabs. They sell them for you. They do all the work. You don't have to do anything. They have this really cool calculator down at the bottom on their homepage where you can actually calculate exactly what you're going to get back. So this is if you would sell it yourself on eBay. This is if they would do it for you. And as you can see, you'll actually come out ahead having them do all the work for you just because they only charge 13.5%, and anything over $100, they don't even charge you shipping. And so you'll actually come out ahead having them do the work for you. Here's their fees. They're really transparent. $101 to $2,500. It's only 13.5%. Anything under that, it's a $5 shipping fee. But let's be honest, you're going to pay $5 to ship it yourself anyway. And so it might be a good idea for you if you are looking to move large amounts of slabs, you don't feel like doing or don't have time to do the work yourself. Make sure to check out Arizona TCG, guys. The link will be in the description and the comment section below. All right. So we're going to run through Sword and Shield really fast. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So people have talked about some of the Sword and Shield boxes not performing well. And they're only not performing well depending on the time frame you look at. But I figured we take the whole year, right? So if we look at Sword and Shield base for the year, it looks like it is not performing well. But honestly, the prices aren't updated. And so we've seen sales at $350 and $390. But this is only showing it at around like $295. So it was, around $295 at the beginning of the year. Solid dip, solid rise. And now it's actually up quite a bit. It's up like, 20, 30% from where it was. So it's doing pretty well. Rebel Clash, admittedly, it had like a small uptick. Now it's down. Realistically, it looks like a big deal. It's went from like 215 to 230 back to 215. It's just kind of in a trading range. You're not really losing anything, but you're not really gaining anything. So not great. Darkness Blaze, same type of thing. It might be down a few dollars. But it's relatively the same price as it was beginning of the year. Beginning of the year is 149 or 149.77. One just sold for 149.98. Darkness Blaze is pretty much flat. Vivid Voltage, same exact thing. So 135. Now you're getting sales at 140. So it's it's a little bit up. Nothing to write home about. Now Battle Styles though. Battle Styles is doing relatively well. So beginning of the year, Battle Styles was in around 110. It actually dropped down in the low 100s. Now it's selling for 137, right? It's going a little stagnant now after its rise, but 110 to 137, that's a great gain. It's like over a 20% gain for the year so far, right? You got Chilling Reign, had its massive run up from the 140s all the way to 220s. It's doing amazing. We have Evolving Skies. Again, it was in the 300s. Now it's selling for over $700. It's doing amazing. You got Fusion Strike, same type of story as Chilling Reign. It was in the 140s. Now it's all up at 235, 245 range. Brilliant Stars. Now, Brilliant Stars is one of the ones that's been talked about in the news lately. If you guys don't know, Brilliant Stars got a restock at some of the distributors. It wasn't a reprint. It was a restock, right? So a reprint would be Pokemon sent out new product to all the distributors. Stores can put in orders and they get allocated. It wasn't like that. They just had a certain amount of cases that they had that needed to be distributed out. It wasn't that many. But because of that, more supply came in the market, so it dropped it. And so what a lot of channels are doing right now is they're doing this. They're taking the 1 month chart and they're saying, look, it's crashing. And, when you say, well, can you look at this? No. What? Just click that. I can't. It's broken. I can't. That doesn't work. Just click the year. I don't want to do that because when you do that, you see, oh, wait, it's 141 and it's still selling for in the 180s. Oh, I'm still up for the year. Forgot, right? Astral Radiance still doing great. It was in the 1 teens. Now it's selling for $170 with shipping. And then Lost Origin is another one. It got the restock with Brilliant Stars. Again, not a reprint restock, but it has had a major dip since then because more supply has been introduced to the market. Now, again, this is what channels are doing. They're clicking the 1-month chart and they're trying to build some sort of rhetoric around it. Like, it's crashing. I told you guys you can't invest in this stuff. Well, can you click the year chart? No, I don't want to do that, right? Because when you click the year chart, you're like, oh, this is a $140 box. And now it's, in the $190 box. So, yeah, it's up like 40% or whatever. Yeah, no big deal though, right? No big deal. Silver Tempest, same thing. It's doing relatively well. It was in the 120s. Now it's selling for about $160 a box. And so what all this means to you, right, is when you put it in your spreadsheet and you take what you could have paid for these boxes a year ago, which would have added up to $2,117, and you take what their current selling prices are now, adds up to $2,874, you have a $757 profit, a 36% gain for the year. 36% gain for the year, okay? We're not talking about from inception, from the time they were $80, $90, $100 a box. No, from the current prices of June of 2023 until June of 2024, okay? So with that being said, I thought we could go to stock school, right? So here's the S&P, right? This is the SPY, the index that follows the S&P, all right? So here's what a lot of these Pokemon creators are doing, right? They're not showing this picture. They're not showing how there was all these ups and downs and now it's higher. Right? What they're doing is they're taking a little snapshot. They're like, okay, I'm going to take right here, right? I'm going to zoom in as far as I can and like make it look drastic. Like, hold on, let me get a good picture here. Okay, right here. Guys, look, it's crashing. I told you guys it's crashing. You want to get out. It's never coming back. Well, can you zoom out? No, I don't want to do that. It's crashing though, right? Or people will take random sets. They'll be like, just look at Darkness Blaze. You still want to invest in Pokemon? Or look at Rebel Clash. You still want to invest in Pokemon? And then what I always say is, well, compare it to a mutual fund, right? So let's go to the Vanguard S&P 500 Growth Index Fund, right? And so this is what a lot of people don't do. They don't dig into the actual mutual funds they're investing in. What they do, they go look at these charts and they go, well, Alex, I mean, it's doing good this year. It did good 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. It's done great since inception. It's 15% up since inception. I like it. But they never scroll a little further down, right? And they never dig in to the actual mutual fund and the actual holdings where you can actually look up all the stocks. Look, you can look up all the stocks that are in this. You can see how many shares they own and what the market value is. And guess what? Then you can go research those stocks. So I picked a couple, right? Tesla's in this holding. McDonald's is in this holding. So you can look at Tesla and be like, well, wait, I'm 18.88% down for the year on Tesla. Look at McDonald's. I'm 10.91% down for the year on McDonald's, right? And you can dig through this fund and you can find loads of stocks that you are down on your money. Well, then why are you up? Well, it's the same thing why people are complaining about Evolving Skies. Well, Alex, it's just because Evolving Skies and Fusion Strike and Chilling Reign why you're showing good growth. Take those away. No, you can't take those away. That's like me saying, well, here, your mutual fund, let me take NVIDIA away. Let me take Apple away. Let me take these away, and then you won't see those gains you're seeing. Okay, great, but you can't just pick and choose sets or companies to take out of the funds, right? That's the Sword and Shield era. There's going to be high performers. There's going to be low performers, and it's going to average out to a good gain, which in this case, it was 36% this year. So you're keeping on track, if not outperforming these funds and these indexes, like I've always said. Now, taking it one step further, the singles, right? Everyone's worried about the singles. Oh, Alex, they're all going to crash. They're all manipulated. Alex, look at the chart I found. Look, I mean, it's crashing. It was 190, and now it's down to one. We have sales at 160. Alex, this is like 15, 20% drop we're going on. This is getting crazy, right? I don't know. Can we click this button? No. What? Just go to 3 months. No, I don't want to do that. No. 6 months? No. All right, I'm doing it. That's what a year looks like. Looks really small, doesn't it? That little downturn there, little bitty downturn. It looks a little small, doesn't it? Because then you realize, oh, I could have paid about $100 for this card and it's still selling for $160. I'm up 60 freaking percent for the year. 60%. Blaziken, same exact thing. You look at the month chart, we're crashing. Make the videos, make the thumbnails, talk about the thing crashing, talk about how everything's manipulated in its buyout, and then this happens. and you say, wow, this is a $200 card, it's still selling for way up in the way. 273. Let's look at some of the sales. 273, 260, 260. So yeah, you know, we're about, I don't know, 30% up still for the year on Blaziken. Umbreon VMAX, the Moonbreon, the Alex, there's 11,000 of them. It's all going to zero. This card was going for $1,000 raw. Now it's $850. This is a 15% drop. You think it's all going to crash? I don't know. I mean, it was 600. So you're still up like what, 30% for the year. Not bad. Gengar VMAX, same thing, you know, coming down from the highs, you know, 390s. Now it's selling for the 315 range. This was a $200 card. So you're still like, I don't know, 50-something% up on your money. And everyone tells the same thing. When you zoom the charts out, it tells a different story than what people like to use for the shock factor, right? Garatina, same exact thing. Garatina's having a little more of a fall, right? It was up to around 500. Now it's down to 390, but still. This was under a $300 card at the beginning of the year. It saw lows down to 230s. So beginning of the year, you're still up like 30%. Down here, you're up like 50% still, right? And Lugia, the same thing. And that's the danger of people showing these short-term charts, right? And look, these are still short-term. This is a year, right? Looking at boxes for a year, you really need to zoom out for 2, 3, 4 years and see how they're performing then, because that'll give you a more realistic expectation. But guys, this is the danger of buying into some of this rhetoric out there. Whenever there's a downturn, right? Everyone comes out of the woodwork, cries crash, says it was manipulated, it's a buyout, everything's going to zero. But as soon as things uptick, they disappear and you don't hear from them, right? And they sit around and they wait and they watch these charts and they wait for anything to drop, right? Brilliant Stars, Lost Origin, get those restocks. Oh, we got to make a video about it. Let's show it. Let's show the charts going down. Everything's crashing. I told you so. And it's like, could it be they got more product hit the market? So it's obviously people are going to take that quick profit and flush it out until it gets bought up and rises again. Could that be the reason? Nah. Why are these alt arts all dropping then, Alex? I mean, could it be the fact that they all, you know, rose like 100, 150% in the past few months? And so people are taking profits and they're just regulating themselves, and the stocks are going to regulate down to a normal, you know, I would say regular market price or properly valued price, whereas maybe they were undervalued before. Maybe they ran up to spikes where they were maybe a little overly valued, and they're trying to find a happy median to stagnate before they maybe rise again in the future. Could that be the reason? No, it's crashing. So that's the whole point of this video, guys. I wanted to kind of show you, you know, how the mutual funds break down, how there's winners and losers in every fund, how the Pokemon returns and Sword and Shield still perform this year, even when things are crashing or down or not performing on some sets. And that's why the best way to do this is create it like a mutual fund, right? You know, buy, you know, same amount or a little bit of every set. That way, you know, some will be up, some will be down. You'll always have a good realized gain at the end of each year, usually percentage wise. And just don't buy into the madness, guys. Don't buy into all the madness. Things are strong. Everything's normal. I sound like a broken record. It almost gets boring making these videos. But some of the messages I get, some of the comments I get, some of the videos I see out there, it makes me want to make these videos to kind of keep everyone, you know, keep everyone on that long-term mindset to understand that you're still doing extremely well in this hobby, and not to get caught up in this short-term, you know, frenzy and panic every time something jumps up or jumps down. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed this kind of content, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back here in a new one soon. I'm out.